Hey, friends, have you ever been in the situation where you feel like the leadership or ownership of the company that you work for or work in isn't up to snuff anymore? Have you felt like all the work that you're doing seems to be for nothing, no matter what you do, the owner is making it harder for you? See, ownership doesn't necessarily mean leadership. And sometimes we need to identify it's time to leave the lack of leadership. My name's Angela Senzali, and I have been in this position. I have been a uh, low level employee working my way up the ladder. I've been at the top of the ladder next to the owner. And I, unfortunately, more often than not, have found myself scratching my head wondering, why is this happening? And it's because when we have an owner, we think that they are a good leader. And the reality of that is that's not always the case. And I find myself right now involved in a company that I'm super, super passionate about. It's an online company. I'm very passionate about what it can do, what it's been doing, but the ownership is not showing great leadership. And because it's not showing great leadership, I'm making decisions about whether I'm going to move on. So my name is Angela Senzali. I hope you'll stick around to the end because I have a few solutions if you are stuck in this lack of leadership mode. Whether you're a brick and mortar business, an online company, a solopreneur, leadership is crucial. So what are the signs of poor leadership? Well, number one is ghosting in communication. So, what's that mean? So, that means that they fail to communicate effectively. They present like they're communicating, but when the reality is that they are not. They are avoiding a conversation, not returning emails, text messages, requiring you to do all the communication, but there's nothing on the other end. Another sign of poor leadership is a lack of vision or follow through. So we often have owners that are great visionaries. They see the vision, but they can't figure out how to get everyone there. And because of that, there's a lack of follow through. They don't know how to get the team to adhere and to be all in one. So it just demotivates the team. And another sign of poor leadership is profit centered leadership. Leaders who prioritize profits over people. They can harm the employee satisfaction, the company culture. It's just not a good place to be in. And this is what happens when you have poor leadership. You know, a recent Gallup poll identifies that over 70% of employee motivation and morale is influenced by their managers. When I was working in landscaping many, many years ago, I used to do training on communication and team building, et cetera. And the number one reason that employees were quitting companies was because of their manager, the person that they directly report to. And that happens whether you're a brick and mortar business or whether you're an online business. If the leadership, the person that you report to, your upline, ownership, management, if they're demotivating you, why stay? And this is why there are high turnover rates. This is why productivity is down. And again, when we're not motivated, what's the point? So listen, what can you do about that? You're not stuck where you are. You might need that job, or you might, be in a position where you're like, I don't want to change companies. I don't want to look for another job. I don't want to look for another opportunity. This is where community and mentorship comes in. So hear me out. Don't hang up yet. Mentorship is what got me through many, many years ago when I didn't know what to do. I found a mentor. I found a coach, and that coach helped me figure out that I was not in a positive environment and I needed to move on. So what does that look like today? There's a lot of coaches out there, one-on-one groups, Facebook communities. But what I'm talking about is a community of business professionals that want to help each other. They're all on the same page. They might be doing different business opportunities, different businesses, but they're there because they want to be in community. They want to show leadership and they want to support each other. Think of it like a learning lab. And that's where the Digital Marketers Success Network comes in. I like to call it the DMSN because we're a group of professionals and we work together. We are working on our own opportunities. We're sharing information, sharing influence, and we have mentors, both the leaders of the Success Network, but leaders in ourselves, mentoring each other. And so find a community, friends. Don't be afraid to move on. Find a community that's going to help you grow and be the leader that you want to be. And if you would like to learn more about the Digital Marketing Success Network, drop it in the comments, reach out to me. I'll drop a link. You can check it out for yourself, see if it might be something that you want to do. But if this hits home for you, don't stay stuck under poor leadership. There are better communities out there. There's mentors out there, and the Digital Success Network is one of them. So hit the subscribe button, drop a story in the comments. If any of this resonates with you, friends, you are not alone. And I'll see you next time.